Okay. Good morning. So, in the previous session, what we discussed, server-side component types at the definition level we have seen. Now we are going in detail of those server-side components uh, with snippet code along with the life cycle. Okay. So server-side among the two different side type of server-side components, we have discussed session bean and message driven bean. So entity bean is apart from that and messaging service. So now we are looking in detail about the session bean. So the session bean, yeah, according to the last session, so in analogy to compare, if EJB is a grammar, session bean is a verb. Means you are defining the business logic for the applications using enterprise applications using session bean. So session bean models business processes. So for example, the processes are calculating discount as I discussed, call a legacy system. So means old system. Suppose if the new application is deployed, if you want to migrate from lower end machine to the higher end, and still those legacy system needed in service to fetch or access the legacy system business methods, you can use even session beans also for that, and list accounts below minimum balance criteria. It might be looking like a query listing account below minimum balance. It might be looking like a query to fetch the content. So you can use this along with entity beans. Yeah, alone entity beans cannot be used alone. So if you want to interact entity bean with the client, you need to have a session bean business process models. Display pending tasks to be completed. You can write a business process for this also. Send a message to supplier to replenish stocks. So suppose after ordering, placing the order and executing that order, remaining items should be get updated on the shelf, as well as it should get updated in the system. So to do such performing those tasks, you can use the session means business methods. Then or simply call other bins, or you are forwarding that request from one bin to another bin. So you can do all these performance with the help of session bin. So the discussion is for the session bin is for enterprise building the enterprise Java bean applications, right? Now, continuation. Relatively short-lived objects compared to entity or message-driven bean. Life of this session beans is too short. Once process is completed, life ends of the session bean. Life ends means still it is exist with container. Only the meaning of life ending is disconnect with the client request, disconnecting with the client request, but still that beans exist with the container services. So lifetime is life roughly equal to a session, a single session, or of client code that's calling the bean. So depending on the client request, or if it is stateless, it depends on client request. If it is a stateful session bean, it depends on the session. Means duration, time period, till that life of that session bean is exist. So this is not shared among multiple clients. It is depending on which type of the session bean you are requested, right? So as a client, I will not come to know. I am expecting a best service from the other end. As a client, I will not come to know which bean is going to call by my request, etc. and so on. This is all almost it is vendor dependent and developer deployment, how they deploy the code at the server level, right? So if the bean is not possible to share among multiple clients, obviously that it might be a session bean or it might be a singleton bean. So in the singleton bean, only one instance is shared for the client request. Don't survive application server crashes or machine crashes. So if anything goes wrong while handling the uh, client request, so immediately it will terminate that process or the request. And some and non-persistent objects. So the in the case of stateless bean, the state of a request will not retain back for the next level of access. So those kind of things, non-persistent objects which you are going to create with the help of stateless session bean, then can perform database operations if desired. Yes, it is listed in the example list all the accounts below minimum balance criteria. This is a fetching a data from the database. So that database, since session bean uses the enterprise concept, obviously it is querying for the entity bean, not just simply database. Generally used to provide functionality involving multiple entity beans. So one client may request for displaying minimum balance, another client may request for available quantity, another client may request for some other their customized queries. So in those cases, it will provide the functionality. If you are using the stateful session bean, a separate transaction which will handle by the container services to provide the session bean. See, there is a possibility of querying the same entity from the multiple clients. So those can be handled through stateful session beans. Session beans can call other session beans like session packet pattern. So second packet pattern, it delegates the request. And means delegates means it outsources that request sent from client to one session to the another. For example, if you are requesting to share the notes currently now itself, so I am busy with class. So what I'm going to do is I'm delegating, I'm requesting some other person to forward the notes to the students. Getting this is the one understanding of that transferring call from one session into another session in the same session. So that call is transferring to that another session bean to handle the request. That pattern is called as session packet pattern. Ideal for exposing web services, since the job of session bean is provide the presentation layer to the client. So client from the HTML form or the JSP page, they are submitting their request through the controls. So that controls, you are calling the corresponding servlet. That corresponding servlet which will in turn it will call the corresponding session bean business method, which is defined under the interface. So based on the user request, so it is delegating that transfer the control to the corresponding session bean. That session beans which will be provided by the container to process the client request. So the mainly to provide the interface session bean to provide the interface between the client side and the server side. So it will provide the abstract layer between the client and the server. Client cannot directly access the EJB. Client has to request for the server, then server in turn request to the container to provide the corresponding session means depending on the client input or the request. So we have seen stateless session means, stateful session means, and one more is singleton session bean. Singleton session bean is the support of EJB 3.1. So in EJB 2.0, these two stateless and stateful session bean was exist. In EJB 3.1, this is the addition in the EJB 3.1. So we have definition wise we have seen. Now we'll go with some certain examples of stateless session bean along with life cycle. So stateless session beans designed to hold conversations with client for just one method call. So these beans are designed in such a way that single request is handled from the client. It means that single request is meaning that it is only support single. No, multiple client can request for a session bean, but container will provide the bean to a single customer, single bean. Again, if the same customer request, the container may provide the previous bean or some other bean which is available in the instance pooling. So means that there is no guarantee same bean is providing a service back to the same client which is requested frequently. That's the meaning of it. Okay. Example, complex calculation logic. 5 plus 10. Is it necessary to store somewhere else? Again, it is depending on the your business logic. Get stock quote. So, what is the current stock in the Amazon? So, the stock information it depends on the time. So, if the time is 9:15 now, the whatever the stock quote it is raised by you, it is up to now only, because every second there is a some or the other order it is shipping or placing or generating the invoices. In that case, if you are accessing 920 stock code, that code might be different because lot many transactions which happens within the 5 minutes of time. So getting the stock code information is one time, fetching the information, that's another example for stateless session beans. Credit card verification, one time whenever you do the swiping credit card verification CCV, it's again a one time verification in the lifetime of that whole transaction. So these kind of business logic, if you want to define at the enterprise level, you can make use of stateless session beans. No state of interactions is maintained across method invocations. No state means it won't retain the previous value which exists with the method call. Okay, means uh, every method call it treats as it is a fresh because it won't maintain the previous calls method information. That's why it is stateless. Stateless. Less state means there is no persistent property is supported in this stateless bean. So after each method call, container may choose to destroy the bean. Once call has happened and provide the service to the client or provide the service to the intermediary session nodes, the container immediately it revokes that bean which was allocated for the client request or another session bean request. So expect your bean to be forget everything after each method call. So expectation of stateless session bean means once process is done, ignored. Remaining is don't remember, just ignore. Means you need to remember the concept of ECB. But so as a stateless session bean, that session bean should forget. Means here session should not it would not forget. Container is going to clear the cache and it calls the garbage collection of that session bean instance. Hence, the client must pass all data for each call. So half data or the partial data if client is passing means every time it is making a new method call request container providing every time a new session bean for processing. Since container providing the new session instance every time, the previous call and this call there is a difference. So you must, as a client, you must be provide all the necessary data to process at a single stretch. Since no state is maintained, multiple instances are equivalent. Hence, a pool can be maintained of pre-initialized stateless session beans, enabling higher performance. So go if you want to go with the higher performance, obviously the complexity level is little lesser inside compared to the stateful session beans. So it is easy now. Forgetting everything is easy. Means it is performancely we are very clear in our mind and we can do other good things in future, right? In the same way, the stateless session bean, the container will take care of forgetting everything. Means it clears everything from cache memory which the previous sent by the client. And the life cycle of the session means it's an important question for your internal as well as external examination with respect to the life cycles of session means. So first to initialize in the initial state when there is no request from client side, no existing bean instance. Bean is present, but bean interface instant was absent in no existing bean instance initial state. Then when request comes, container wants to initialize the bean for either maintaining a free pool or it is just received a request. Container spawns a new thread and releases that to the pool of pool, or the container may receive the request from the client. Either one of the cases, the container spawns a new instance of the bean which is requested. And the life cycle of the third stage is container instantiates the required number of beans. So container job, one request, one instance is enough. If 100 requests, under 100 instances is enough. Getting So depending on the number of requests or to maintain a free pool, container decides how many number of instances of the bean I should produce. So by calling to create a new instance by calling class dot for name method. Class dot for name method with URL, it is invoking the new instance of this URL which you are specifying as a bean instance. And the life cycle fourth stage is container calls set session context. Set session context. Fourth stage. Fifth stage of life cycle is container calls EJB create method. So in EJB create method calls by the container. In the sixth stage phase, container calls business methods one or many as required. So look focused container in the EJB enterprise complex applications. Most of the work taken care by the container. As a developer, your job is to focus on business logic. So container will take care most of minute system level services on behalf of you. The bean needs to be able to service methods without any assumptions on a method by method basis. So no state stored. There is no assumption concept. The data which is come from one method and it is sending to the another method, no assumption of those concept. It is purely based on the client request because this session means won't maintain any state between the calls. And the seventh stage is container wants to destroy the bean and calls EJB remove method. So container destroys once process is process is complete and the request is responded, then container calls the destroy method. Here the destroy method is called as EJB remove. And finally, EJB is garbage collected by Java virtual machine. Java virtual machine which will call the garbage collector. JVM is nothing but here it's a base of every system level services. So EJB is a part of JVM. Then EJB that itself is garbage collected by the JVM once the process is completed. This is a step by step environment. Now by looking into the figure, you are able to understand very clearly. So initial stage, stage 1 is initial stage, EJB does not exist. Then next stage is create new instance of EJB. Who is taking care of entire thing? Entire thing is taken care by the container. Entire thing is taken care by the container. So EJB does not exist, initial stage. Second stage is create new instance. Then third stage is set session context. If it is a false means stateless. If it is a true means stateful. Then EJB create is called, it will call the corresponding relevant business methods. So when all these things happen internally with the container service, container spawns a new thread of instance which exists with the EJB pool. In turn, it will call the business method present in that EJB pool. Then after the processing is happen here, finally it will call the EJB remove method to remove the bean instance which was allocated for the process the request. This is the life cycle of stateless session bean. Is it clear? All of you enter your son and name in the chat window. Is it clear? Yeah. Now, stateful session bean. Stateful session means this designed to hold long conversations with client. Long conversation is it is time bounded. Time bounded when it comes session is mentioned. So example shopping cart. Shopping cart is an application which uses the sessions. So from login, from exploring the items, from selecting the items, adding the item to the cart, then checkout till checkout, and finally log out. All these transactions which is exist with the time bound. So wherever the application needs time bounding conversations, then you go with the stateful session beans. So it's a simple example. Shopping cart is one example. Banking is another example. If any loan processing is another example. Insurance providing is another example. So many examples which will exist within in this real world. The state of interaction is maintained for subsequent requests such as items in shopping cart or status of banking transaction. Each transaction, if you want to need to keep track of every action which you are performing on the banking or on the shopping cart, so you can use the stateful session beans concept. The stateful session beans which will maintain a state of transactions. So here less performance compared to stateless session bean because everything should be remembered. If everything is remembered and it is overload to the container service because container has to remember every single click of that client. So tomorrow the client should not deny I am not clicked, I have not done all those things. So that's why to maintain all the state of the client. So compared to the stateless session bean, this is performance wise little. This is little less. Little. It is not much. It's little less because single client to maintain the whole session information. Obviously, it requires a little resource of the system. If thousands of same session, stateful session bean request comes, so obviously it is a burden to the container. In turn, it is burden to the JVM. In turn, it is burden to the operating system. Okay, one and the other is connected. So cannot be pulled as each bean stores client specific state. So every client has a separate stateful session bean is allocated for every client until unless he or she logged out the session. Hence, number of beans in use equal to number of concurrent client sessions. If number of beans are 1000 in the pool, if request is 500, so the number of beans in use is 500. Obviously, we can calculate number of clients also using this beans in number 500. So bean can be swapped to hard disk from memory for freeing up some memory. With the help of EJB passivate method, the EJB passivate method is used by the EJB container to clean up the memory whenever the session is in idle state. So session timeout, because of session timeout, so that bean is going to be temporarily paused. It is temporarily paused. If you are removing permanently from the memory to hard disk means that is EJB destroyer. EJB remove method is called. If you are temporarily removing from memory to the hard disk case, it is EJB passivate means like your play and pause buttons. pause, temporarily stopped. Again, you can resume by calling EJB resume method. Clear? Then container calls EJB passivate before swapping the bean out of memory. So because it is a stateful session bean, it needs to maintain the state of the client request from beginning to the end of the transaction. Since the user is idle as of now, so it needs the memory for the other user process. In that case, container decides to temporarily remove the session beans by calling the EJB passivate method. So then again, once the client is resumed back to his application, container again calls EJB activate, again it swaps from bean back to memory. So then now application is continued. So these two methods have help pause and resume the existing application, which is maintained in the which is used in the session beans. Acquire any resources that bean may need for servicing client requests during calls to EJP activate. If any resources which was used, like it may uses the EJB database, it may uses the another server for the service, it may be uses the third party service, etc. and so on. Again, it will acquire those resources to continue with the current client session by invoking EJB activate. Then finally, it releases these resources during call to EJB passivate. In the EJB passivate, it is releasing the resources. In the EJB activate, it is acquiring the resources for continuing the sessions. And stateful session bin life cycle, here compared to the previous one, two more methods are included here: EJB passivate and EJB activate. Remaining is same life cycle of stateless session bin. So in the stateless also no existing bin, in stateful also no existing bin initially. Then in the stateless, client wants to initialize the bin. In the stateful also, client wants to initialize the bin by invoking the create EJB create. Here it has a two interface. One is local and another one is remote interface. By calling create on home object, it will create the local interface. So then the third phase is container instantiates the bean by invoking class.forName method by following the URL of that instance object, and new instance method is invoked on that. So you are going to instantiate the new bean. Then fourth stage is container calls set session context. If it is true, you are going to maintain the session for each call. Then fifth, container calls EJB create method. Then sixth, client calls business method as needed, as like in stateless session bin, similar to here. So seventh one, if container limit of EJB instances has reached. It is interesting. If the number of instances has reached, so suppose by default while deployment at a time 10,000 of customer can be processed. If it exceeds the 10,000 request, then 10,000 to one request is going to be in queue. So client or customer don't want to wait for processing his request. So he is hitting the refresh button every time. So in that cases, if any pool of instances is idle for time being, then container identifies those instances and it invokes the EJP passivate method on that instance to swap the content of that current state of the client request to memory to release the resource. By releasing that resource, 10,000 one customer is allocated for that bean resource to for processing. See, the job of container is very crucial here. While passivated bean gets client call to service, same client must call since state is maintained. Because state is maintained, temporarily you pass the request of the state because of idle or some other reason. Container calls EJB activate method again revoke back the same state back to the memory. These are the two different steps involved compared to a stateless session bean. And the ninth step is client wants to destroy the bean by invoking remove on home object or the client times out destroying the session. So idle time, if it is timeout, automatically also it will call the EJB remove method, or it's just call the remove method. Exclusively time client is requesting to session out. Either the method is going to be called. And finally, EJB is garbage collected by JVM. So just compare the previous stateless. Two more methods are involved here: EJB passivate and EJB activate. So by looking into the figure, we are clearly understand that the EJB does not exist. Same, create new instance, sessions, set session context, and EJB create method is invoked. Then that request goes to the EJB ready for use. Session means corresponding business methods are called with the methods which exist with EJB container. Then EJB container calls the EJB passive method if other request needs that service. Then it releases all the resources which allocated for that request. Then again it will EJB invocate EJB activate method to revoke back the session to continue. And finally the EJB remove method is invoked to garbage collect the session. Either from here to here EJB remove method is called to terminate the request, or completing the request, or due to timeout, session timeout, that EJB remove method may be called. So these EJB remove, EJB activate, and EJB passivate methods are the additional steps in stateful session bean. Remaining is same. The conceptually both are different. One is stateless, another one is stateful. So this is one simple snippet code to illustrate the session bean. So import javax.ejb.star. You are defining my EJB bean. It implements the session bean interface. So EJB activate method, EJB remove, set session context, EJB create, and this is the business method. This is the business method. This is a skeleton of the session bean. Which are the methods involved in the life cycle phase? All the methods is exist here. So you can implement depending on your application type. I hope you understood. Are you able to see Notepad? Okay, we'll continue the remaining server side component in the next coming sessions. Thank you. Okay, let's stop today.